Hey everyone, today we're going to be making a 12 by 12 scrapbooking layout using papers, stickers and embellishments from Rosie's Studio. You're going to need to have 4 sheets of 12 by 12 paper, some embellishments and of course some photos. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to choose 4 papers, and we're just going to choose one of those sheets and we'll cut 3 strips using our paper trimmer. These strips are about 35 millimeters wide, and that's about 1.5 inches. Then take a second sheet of paper, and this time you're going to cut 1 strip, which is about 135 millimeters wide, about 5.25 inches. Next, you're going to use a distressing tool to create rough edges on 2 sides of the paper, on both of the long sides. If you don't have a distressing tool, you can always run the sheet between the blades of a pair of scissors, and that will give you a similar effect. Next, we're going to layer our strips of paper together and figure out where we'll place them on our layout. We're going to use double-sided tape to stick everything in place. So we'll take one of the thinnest strips and we'll layer it on top of a slightly wider strip of paper, and that looks good at the top. Down the bottom we'll take our other 2 strips of paper and we'll place our widest strip on top of those. So we'll start sticking these down using our double-sided tape. Next, we're just going to cut a very small strip of paper using a 3rd pattern. This strip of paper is about 75 millimeters in length, or 3 inches, and we're just going to tuck that in behind our widest strip. So once we've figured out where that one's going to go, then we can use our double-sided tape and we'll stick this last strip down as well. Okay, so it's time to embellish our layout by building layers. So the first layer we're going to add is some paint splatters. We've just watered down an acrylic paint and we're just randomly splashing it on our page. Remember that less can be more. We're doing this in a black color and a gold color just to add a wee bit of sparkle. Now we're going to add some photos to our layout. So the first step will be to create a border around each photo using our pattern papers. So using our double-sided tape, we're going to stick our photos onto our sheet of paper. Then we're going to use our ruler and a craft knife to trim the paper so it's slightly bigger than the size of the photos. Just make sure you do this on your cutting mat so that you don't accidentally cut your table. To make our photos really stand out, we're going to add a second border in a contrasting color to the first border. So this time we're choosing a dark blue, and we're just going to repeat the steps from before. We're going to stick our photos to the sheet of paper using double-sided tape, and again with our ruler and our cutting knife, we're just going to trim the paper so that it is slightly larger than the first border. Once we've prepared our photos, we're just going to work out where to put them on our layout. I think we'll put these down the bottom on top of that wide strip because it creates a really nice backdrop, and we're just going to put them in a line going from left to right, finishing with my favorite photo over on the right hand corner. Once we've added our photos, it's time to add our embellishments. So we have some space in the top left-hand corner. So I'm just going to add a focal point using die cut shapes and some sentiments. This one captures the vibe of the entire layout. It says our friendship is tailor-made and memory lane. In the opposite corner, just to help balance it out, I've added another sentiment that says laughter and love. And now I'm also going to add some embellishments around the photos just to make them really pop. I like to work out where I'm going to place all of my embellishments first before I use my double-sided tape to stick them down. Sometimes I'll even take a photo before I stick them in place, and that way I can refer back to the photo to remember exactly where everything needs to go. So we're nearly finished. I'm just going to add a few little gold puffy stickers just to highlight certain parts of the layout. And then I'm going to journal on this tag just so I can remember some of my favorite memories about this time. I hope you guys really enjoy it. I hope you guys can see how easy it can be to create something like this and that you might make one of your own. Have fun!